what I see is analytics are going to play a major role in the next couple of years, especially in oil and gas industry. I think the data availability is there now. We have been struggling for all that stranded data for the last few years, but now I think we got to the point where we are capable of, capturing that data. Now the question is how I can capture or use this data to convert it into information and then useful information and then using it to the next level where the analytics come into place. The important thing would be how I can use the domain expertise that I already have sitting with me from years of experience along with this data analysis that we are getting and then merge those two together in order to get the maximum benefit out of it. And I think that's where most of the work is going to go in next couple of years. Things like augmented reality and virtual reality, I think those are going to be, still now, people are kind of hesitant. They see the technology, they realize that it is very useful, but the adaptability is not there yet. It still seems like, a far away. But I think as we go forward, the invent of these technologies into oil and gas or into the process industry is going to be much faster because the ROI is so huge on those, right? With the new, and we know this problem that the process industry has, which is, we have a big flood of aging workforce, which is kind of departing now, right? They are less experienced operators in the field than what we had 5 years ago. And this has been a continuum for last, I would say, at least 5 to 6 years since I've been hearing about that. So now, I think with new operators coming in, new engineers coming in, their level of experience, their level of understanding, I think that needs to be augmented by something much more efficient. And I think these technologies will kick in, and these technologies will definitely help. Internet of Things, I think that is going to be another important part of next 2 to 3 years kind of a time frame in the process industry. The IoT or IIoT is actually going to provide the ecosystem that people have been talking about and still resisting, by the way. But people have been talking about because at the end of the day, the customer needs to get the benefit out of it. And customer is not just using one supplier, they're using multiple suppliers, right? So being part of that ecosystem, which basically provide the high profitability or high value to the end customer is going to be important. And the funny part of that ecosystem will be that a lot of competitors will be part of that ecosystem. And they will be contributing into the ecosystem in order to maximize the benefit for the customers. So I think those are 2 or 3 areas where I see a lot of focus as we go forward. And I am hoping that, our customers and also our partners will be more open to sharing information, because I think the sharing of information or making sure that the information is to the point of anonymity where it can be shared with the rest of the industry for the benefit of the industry itself, so that you can actually share the lessons learned, you can share the best practices, and use the tools like cognitive analysis or cognitive learning in order to make sure that you actually bring benefit for the entire industry rather than only one company. So I think that's important for the industry to look into it that way, rather than just looking at it as a competitive advantage for myself or my facility only. So I think I'm expecting a lot more changes in the next 2 to 3 years, especially in the process industry, because of these technologies.